I'm Mike Messier, and welcome to Messier Mantra. On this episode, we have a very special guest. His name is Mike Messier. Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. It's certainly a pleasure to be here on the Messier Mantra. Now, Mike, I've heard a little bit about you. I've followed your career from a distance, and you do quite a bunch of interesting things. You're a filmmaker. It says on your resume you've won 8 awards in film and television. So are those Grammys or Emmys or Oscars, or what type of awards have you won exactly? Well, Mike, they're not exactly Grammys, because that's music, or Oscars or Emmys. I'm working towards that level, but right now they're local film and television awards. I'm happy to say I've been part of projects that have won awards in Maine, Boston, Rhode Island, even as far as Texas. I'm pretty proud of that, pretty happy about that too. Well, that's terrific. And what are you working on these days? Well, Mike, I brought a clip, if we can check it out, from a new project of mine. Yeah, we'll do that a little bit later, but first let's talk about your life. Now, where are you from? Where did you come from? Where did you grow up? Well, Mike, I really don't like to talk about my past so much. I like to talk about my present, because I feel that the present tense is what we're all living in. We're all living in the here and now, the what's and whys, the hows, and how one becomes a great person, how they do things for their own life. For instance, Mike, just hold on a second. I do a little class that I work in called Tao Zen Acting, and I'd like to tell you about it. Okay, sure. So what it's about is Tao Zen Acting stands for the art of Zen and creating the inner greatness. Okay, Tao Zen Acting, the art of Zen and creating the inner greatness. So is that some type of acronym or something? What is that exactly? Well, yes, it's an acronym. If you take the words Tao, which is spelled T-A-O, although it's pronounced D-A-O, Tao, and you take Zen, Z-E-N, and kind of leave that alone. And then acting, I like to say acting, A-C-T-I-N-G, is and creating the, you following with me here? Inner greatness, acting. So I like to take that and creating the inner greatness, Tao Zen Acting, the art of, T-A-O, the art of. And I like to work with my students, my collaborators, and say, what can we do here to tap into our inner greatness? What can we do to achieve our goals? What can we do to even make goals in the first place? Mike, some people are just traveling through life without any type of direction, and I try to lead them in the right path. Yeah, okay, so what makes you qualified to lead anybody in the right path? I mean, let's talk about you and your life. Exactly, how are you qualified for anything, quite frankly? Well, I do host the Messier Mantra. No, actually, I host the Messier Mantra. So let's get back to you, Mike. Very curious about yourself and what you're doing with your life. So it says here on my notes that you're an actor, and tell me about some of your experience of what have you done, some local community theater or dinner theater shows or puppet shows. Why don't you tell me about that just a little bit, because we're running out of time. Well, I haven't done any puppet shows. I'm working on that perhaps, but I've actually been in a scene with Meryl Streep. That was a lot of fun. Now, was that Meryl Streep scene like some type of extra work? Did we see your elbow in the back of the scene? Walking past camera as this Meryl Streep was doing something? Is that what you're telling me? No, Mike. Actually, that Meryl Streep experience, I was hired to be an extra, but when I got down to the set in North Stonington, Connecticut, it was just a crazy change of events, a crazy thing. The actress Elizabeth Shue, you might have seen her in Adventures from Babysitting. Oh yes, I'm quite familiar with Elizabeth Shue. She's a very talented actress. So just to jump in, what you're saying is you somehow had something to do with her? Well, it's a long story, Mike, but basically what happened is I went to do extra work. There's a bar scene in this film, Hope Springs. It's a theatrically released film. And, I got to do a scene with Elizabeth Shue and Meryl Streep. It was very exciting, and I'm very proud of that little, call it a cameo, if you will. Hope Springs, I've never quite heard of that. Was that a DVD release in Europe of some kind? Exactly, where can I find that movie? I've never heard of it. Well, like I said, Mike, it is a theatrical release, so I don't want to, belabor the point, but it was a big movie. I'm very happy with it. And, I did another thing. I played Sybil Shepherd's son in a film called Hard Luck with Meryl Streep's, sorry, I'm getting confused with my own propaganda here, with Wesley Snipes and none other than the director of New Jack City, Mario Van Peebles. Now in that movie I had what's called a principal role. I played Sybil Shepherd's son. And you know, he had a little bit of slowness, mental slowness, let's put it that way. The character I did called Eugene. It was very exciting and I'm really proud of it. It was about a little bit, you know, when I was younger. Oh yes, that's very exciting, Mike. I'm very, very proud of you, you know, what you've done with all those big name actors. Now, I understand that you also write stories or some type of, you're a writer of some kind. Is it haikus? Is it AABB pentameter? I mean, I studied myself poetry in high school, and is that what you write, or fortune cookies? Exactly, what is that? No, I don't write fortune cookies. What I write are screenplays. They're, you know, scripts that you use to make a film. I spent a lot of time on them. I worked very hard with the outlines, with the character development, doing rough drafts, having table reads of these scripts to try and perfect them. I'm in a writer's group. We all kind of, you know, combine our efforts and really try to make a good script that I write for possible movies. So you and your friends get together and you write stories? Is that it? No, we don't write stories together. You're totally confusing, and you're totally confusing or misunderstanding me right now. Well, what exactly do you do? I mean, besides all this writing and nonsense, do you have some type of job? Are you like a garbage man, or do you flush toilets for a living? I mean, what exactly do you do that's interesting to me? Well, I just thought I'd come on here and have a nice interview. I didn't expect to get barraged with this oppositional talk, but what we could do is just show a clip of my work, and maybe that would explain what's going on here with my career. Well, we'll get to that later. Let's first discuss your mantra. Now, every episode of the Messier Mantra, I like to have each guest share a mantra about their career, their work. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your work, but you know, before that, tell me about your personal mantra. What is your mantra? What do you live by? What do you aspire? You know, something, an expression, a phrase that tells me and all the viewers here how you feel about life in general, or about your own life. That might be interesting. What's the deal with that water, man? Just a little thirsty, that's all. What's the deal with the label? I don't understand. Why did you take that label off the water? Well, for the product placement, you know, in case another company of water wants to, you know, do some product placement on this show or any other movie that I might be producing, because I produce movies too, they might, you know, want to sponsor the show or sponsor my career, and I don't want this particular water company to have their label on here for free. It's just a little thing of mine. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, tell me about your mantra, Mike. What is your mantra? Glad you asked. You know, my mantra is never surrender. Never surrender. Is that something you got from a Rocky movie? No, I mean, although I'm a fan of the Rocky films, I didn't take Never Surrender from a Rocky film. Right. I think it was a Bryan Adams song from the 80s, man. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. Let's talk about you know, never surrender, your script writing and so forth. What exactly do you write about? Tell me about that a little bit. Well, I like to write stories that come from the human heart, the human condition. Stories about, now it says, wait a second, it says one of your stories, one of your scripts is called Bad Girls with Good Tattoos. That's about the human heart? I mean, it seems frivolous to me. How'd you find out about that one? I never talk about that script. You know, I never talk about that one. Well, I found it somewhere, and it's very confusing to me. Why would you have a script called Bad Girls with Good Tattoos that's supposed to reach out to the human heart? Now, is this one of those backyard Kairos movies I see so much on the internet? and you know, private distribution. People are trying to sell these backyard horror movies, or Karo syrup movies as I call them. What exactly type of movies are you trying to make? Well, I'd like to show my clip if I could. I'd like to, you know, show my clip about, you know, one of my projects if I could. All right, we'll show the clip. Okay, we'll show the clip. What is it called? It's a teaser for Distance from Avalon. Distance from Avalon? Now, exactly what is that? Is that some type of... It's a feature film script that I'm trying to raise the money to make this story, this project. Would we just show the teaser, please? A teaser, what exactly is a teaser? What is a teaser? A teaser is a little piece of the movie that you show in order to get people excited about the movie. Oh, so you mean like a trailer or a preview? No, a teaser, it's something before the movie's made, and it has clips of the movie that you're trying to make in order to raise funds for the movie? I don't understand. You don't have money for this movie, but how are we going to watch the movie if you don't have money for it? That makes absolutely no sense. Look, man, it's just a teaser. It's just something you show on the show. You know, hopefully someone out there will see this thing. Out there? Out where? What are you talking about? To your audience here in Seekonk and in the world. I mean, isn't this show somehow broadcast, you know, on whatever we call it? It's like on some type of thing? All right. Look, we're going to show you a little teaser. Distance from Avalon. Yeah, Distance from Avalon, okay. All right, right here on the Messier Mantra, we're going to show our guest, Mike Messier's teaser for Messier. What is it called again? It's called Distance from Avalon. Please respect the work, man. I'll really take it seriously. All right, Distance from Avalon teaser right here on Messier Mantra. Let's check it out. Help Mike out if you can with his work. Let's check out Distance from Avalon teaser right here on the Messier Mantra.
There, my man. It's just a matter of time. So you're the man of the house. Did I ever tell you about the man lost in the prison? He was a troubled man. Is that me? Am I that man in the prison? No, sir, you are not. Is that to disregard me? Do you mean to disregard me, sir?
No!
Prisoners of pain. And no one here gets out alive.
God, have you forsaken me?
Time before the dying and the dead reunite.
Okay, Mike, that was your teaser for Distance from Avalon. Now, we have like 2 minutes left. Why don't you tell me about this work of yours? Well, okay, thank you for showing it, first of all. It's very generous of you and your time. And second of all, this is a story about an average Joe who's kind of caught in some trouble with life, and he doesn't know how to do anything that's going to be good because he's so trapped in this evil world of darkness and disparity, and he's trying to advance himself as a human being, and he's also trying to help the human race. Now, let me finish. Because he's so smart and intellectual that he feels that he can really help people progress in their lives. Help people progress in their lives? That sounds very interesting. Tell me more. Okay, I will. Yes, please do. So basically, Joe, he's a regular guy. He's going through a divorce. He's got 2 kids. And he finds himself, he's a teacher. He's a school teacher. And he finds himself with a coworker. Is she attractive? Of course she is. So this movie basically takes place in Joe's imagination as he's thinking about stuff and thinking about what could happen if he entered this realm. Thinking about stuff? Is that what the movie's about? Some guy thinking about stuff in this realm? I really don't understand what you're talking about right now. I don't think I want to see this movie. So where's it playing for other people can go see it? I told you, man, it's a teaser. The movie's not done yet. I need some money to make this movie. So please, just let me speak of my own movie, okay? All right, man, speak about your movie. I might just leave, but you know, if you want, you know, you've been kind of rude, so if you just want to take over the show and talk about yourself or whatever, go ahead. I apologize, Mike, it's your show. I'll play by the rules, I understand. And I thank you for that. So we've got about a minute left. Mr. Messier, so why don't you just speak about your film project and we'll call it a day, all right? I actually pronounce my name Messier, like, you know, French. Mike Messier, like the hockey player, Mark Messier, if you don't mind, just pronounce my name properly, thank you. Messier, there you have it. All right, Mike, you got about 5 seconds left, so why don't you say something to wrap up the show and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much. It's been great having you on the MESSIER Mantra. Probably the best thing for you to do, for anyone to do, is just check out MikeMessier.com. That's MIKEMESSIER.com. Look into my projects, see what I'm all about. Maybe you're interested in what I'm doing, maybe you're not, but at least check out the website and see what you think about it. All right, I'll have them do that. Thanks for watching the MESSIER Mantra with Mike Messier, your host, and Mike Messier, your guest. Appreciate you watching. Have a good day.